Good morning, my friends. Today is July 15th, which is a Wednesday. I'd like to give you the answers from yesterday's story. Number 1 is D, number 2 is B, number 3 is B, and number 4 was paragraph 2. Today we're reading the story, Tiny Penguin Born at Famous New York Zoo. We're going to go ahead and get started with our vocabulary. I partitioned my page into 4 parts. Here is my title, Tiny Penguin. My first vocabulary word is actually penguin. A penguin is a black and white bird that can swim. Our next vocabulary word is harmed. The word harmed is hurt. And our last one is protection. Protection means to keep it safe. So I'm making a prediction that our story is going to be about penguins either being protected or harmed. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Tiny penguin born at famous New York Zoo. Our picture caption below, little penguin family exiting burrow at night in Brewery Island in the Pacific Ocean. Look at how cute and little those little penguins are. A fairy penguin was born at the Bronx Zoo for the first time ever. This is a famous zoo in New York. The little fuzzy bird hatched in May. It is very small. It weighed as much as a carrot stick. Not the little tiny carrot sticks that you eat, but the actual carrot, like this big. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking in my brain how light a carrot is. Fairy penguins grow fast. In July, the bird was big enough to be with the other fairy penguins. It is too early to tell if the fairy penguin is a boy or a girl. It is still too young. Fairy penguins are called little penguins. Sometimes they are called blue penguins. There are 18 different kinds of penguins. The fairy penguin is the smallest type. Even grown-up fairy penguins are tiny. The birds like to be together. They eat squid and fish. They dig holes to lay their eggs, protecting the little ones. The other fairy penguins at the Bronx Zoo came from a zoo in Australia. They are part of a breeding program. A breeding program helps to recreate more penguins. So they want the penguins to have more babies. Since there's not a lot of them, they want them to have more babies. Breeding programs help animals that could be in danger. Some of them are dying out in the wild. The programs protect them. I am on the top of page 176. The number of fairy penguins in the wild is getting smaller. Humans have harmed the penguins' land. The penguins are hunted by people and animals. This is why penguins are in danger. There are programs that want to help the birds live. Dogs help protect them. My video wouldn't be a video without Miss Clower yawning in it. Dogs help protect them. In Australia, more penguins hatched under the protection of these programs. Then they are released into the wild. Another program trained dogs to help. The dogs protect the penguins. Foxes were hunting them. Almost all of the penguins disappeared. Now there are 200 penguins there. One of the dogs even inspired a movie. Shirlene and Francis Helps are people who take care of fairy penguins. They live in New Zealand. This is a country near Australia. Shirlene taught one named Blindy to swim. Blindy cannot see. Shirlene says Blindy is doing great now. We turn the page to our questions on 177. Number 1, what is this article mostly about? So this is talking about the whole story. A, why fairy penguins are so small and how they got their name. It did talk about why they're so small, but it didn't talk about that for the whole story. B, how the Bronx Zoo takes care of its fairy penguins. It told us that there were some at the Bronx Zoo, but the whole story wasn't about the Bronx Zoo. C, how dogs in Australia protect fairy penguins. For a little bit, it talked about dogs, but was it the whole story? D, what fairy penguins are and how people help protect them. So the entire article was about how people can help protect them and what they are. Number 2, read the following paragraph. This is a main idea question, so we have to take all the information out of our brain. Only what I read is what you know. The number of fairy penguins in the wild is getting smaller. Humans have harmed the penguins' land. The penguins were hunted by people and animals. This is why the penguins are in danger. What is the focus of this paragraph? A, why people hunt fairy penguins. It told us that penguins are hunted by people, but it didn't tell us why people hunt them. So A is not a good choice. B, why fairy penguins are in danger. It said that is why they're in danger, because they're hunted by people and animals. So I would put a maybe mark by B. C, how humans have harmed the land. It said humans have harmed the land, but it didn't tell us how. So I don't think C is a good answer choice. Or D, how many fairy penguins are left on the land? I mean, how many fairy penguins are left in the world? It says, oh, sorry, friends. Since this is a main idea question, I'm only reading this paragraph. And in this paragraph, it doesn't tell me how many fairy penguins are in the world. Number 3, read the sentences from this selection, protecting the little ones. They are part of a breeding program. Breeding programs help animals that could be in danger. Remember, Ms. Clower mentioned while reading, breeding programs help animals create more animals. So what does the word breeding mean in the sentence above? A, training animals. If we want to create more animals, do we need to train them? No. B, creating eggs. To me, when it says creating eggs, it means to me like scientists are creating them. Do we want scientists to create the eggs, or do we want penguins to create the eggs? C says having babies. If we have more babies, would that mean that we are breeding them, creating more of them? That's a pretty good answer choice. Or D, keeping animals in cages. If we keep animals in cages, is that going to help us create more of them? Number 4, read the sentences from the introduction. There are 18 different kinds of penguins. The fairy penguin is the smallest type. Which word would best replace type in the sentence above? So when it's asking us to replace the word type, we're looking for a synonym that's a good word to replace it. So I'm going to reread it with each word in the answer choice. A, kind. The fairy penguin is the smallest kind. I like it, maybe, but there could be better answer choices. B, bird. The fairy penguin is the smallest bird. Well, in my vocabulary, I know that a penguin is a small black and white bird, so I like it, but there could be a better answer. C, animal. The fairy penguin is the smallest animal. A penguin is an animal. Or D, pattern. The fairy penguin is the smallest pattern. A pattern we normally use in math. So I think D is not the best answer choice. All right, my friends, tomorrow is Thursday and we are going to be turning back in our borrowed iPads if you did borrow them. And if you did not send Miss Clower pictures of your packet or join our Zooms, I need you to take your packet to school to show Miss Clower that you've completed it. I won't be available at 10 o'clock for our Zoom, but I will be available from 10:30 to 12 in case you need Miss Clower to Zoom with you for tomorrow's lesson. I'm also going to pre-record videos. If you have borrowed a device, an iPad, we will be at the school from 9 to 12 for you to submit your borrowed iPad. And I hope to see you at school tomorrow.